Good afternoon, world. 8:21. First, a little side note. I wish I was at your birthday party tomorrow, Mike. Sounds fun. Um, but I am in Maryland still. I have an idea for a, podcast, and with the title, it's Nobody's Fault. If you imagine a rock tumbling down the hill and building up an avalanche or a lot of rocks, and it's going to go wipe out a house. Once the rocks start rolling down the hill, it's kind of out of everybody's hands. Or like a storm comes in and sweeps some small ships out into the ocean, it's kind of out of hand. There's not a lot you can do about it once it's so far gone. Well, this storm that America's in started about 50 years ago, and it's been building up steam ever since then. Right now, Bessett's playing with the bond market, trying to he's got to hold one rope still in one of those boats that's been up out in the ocean, and he's trying to pull it back in. But he's just messing around. I mean, he's moving long-term 30-year bonds, and he's instead taking out a bunch of short-term bonds and borrowing money. But can't really do much about the big deal, which is $40 trillion worth of debt. It's kind of beyond us at this point, I think. It's not going to end well. And we're, shuffling the chairs on the deck of the Titanic, but it's not going to end well. And whose fault is it at this point? I don't know. We started making mistakes 50 years ago when we decided we didn't need the basic industries. We could just let China do that. We could always buy from China. We could get everything we need from China. And we could raise tariffs too and make them pay it. We could alienate the rest of the world, tell them they're worth nothing. We are all powerful. We could start wars all over the place. We could make it impossible to get permits because we're all powerful. It doesn't matter. We could do hedge funds that play with money and make money. We don't need to do real stuff. Like magic. We just move money around. And if someone's upset with us, we just take their money because we control the money. We are all powerful because we control the money. Bretton Woods. We control the seas. We are all powerful. No one's going to invent drones or ships that need no people. We are all powerful. We are hot stuff. That's kind of the world we thought we were living in. And then, like the storm, to throw you into this conversation, Mike, the storm you talked about with the lightning and how powerful it was and how it lit up the sky and seemed to go on for hours. You realize that there's forces much bigger than us. And there's forces like 95% of the world's population that are much stronger and collective than the 5% of us. Iran is probably the first country that truly has stood up to us and is willing to take a bloody nose over and over to not let us have our way. They discovered leverage. I'm sure they intellectually always knew, but they had no idea how much power they really had. But now they do. Trump always thought he had power, and he does. A lot of power. But apparently not enough power to rattle the Iranians. They're holding on. I don't think their world is so hot either. But they show no signs of letting go of their prize. I don't know if you've ever been messed with by a bully, but one thing is if you make a bully pay a price, even if you pay a larger price, most of them are not nearly as tough. They want people to cower and to fold and to give in. And that's where we are in the world. And just my little corner that's screwed up is the supply chains for metals. We always thought we could just buy them from somewhere else. But the number of things you need metal for is absolutely incredible. Add minerals to the list, and it gets into your fertilizers and your food production and your acids and bases, and it just kind of spirals into infinity. It's like that rock rolling down the hill. It starts out as, a rock you can barely budge. But once it starts, then it hits bigger and bigger rocks and the avalanche starts. That's where I kind of see America right now. Whose fault is it right now? You're watching the rocks tumble down the hill. Who pushed the first rocks off the hill? That started 50 years ago. We've been doing a whole series of rock pushing one quarter at a time. Now it's catching up with us. And I think if you ask now, after the avalanche has started and the financial system is starting to unravel, whose fault is it? I think to some extent it doesn't matter. Because we have to rebuild from a place at the bottom of the mountain underneath the rubble with whoever's left and with whatever's left. That's where I see America at the moment. But I think most people are in their homes at the bottom of the hill. They hear a rumbling. They know something's wrong. But it's like that lightning storm in the sky, the rumbling in the distance. Not something to be too concerned with. We don't need to pay our debts. People will trust us and loan us money forever, no matter how little responsibility we take. I don't know how we ever believed that and how the Republicans ever sold that. And I can't say the Democrats resisted all that strong. It's easier to blame the other side, but we truly have not taken responsibility. And I'm not sure at this point anybody can stop the avalanche. It's a sad state of affairs, but I look forward to helping rebuild things on the other side with whoever's left and whoever's not fighting among themselves. That's the biggest calamity, and that's to come. Not accepting our lower standard of living and simply blaming each other and fighting and throwing out immigrants and getting on the pulling out the race card, the gay card, and abortion. Just generally fight about everything and don't spend any time trying to fix the mess that we've got ourselves into. And think that we're going to just do it like poof with a big slug of money and all is well. Nope. I'm more committed to write a book called The Demise of Metal and kind of address the mess that we've got ourselves into and the long, long journey to get out of it. It's not going to be easy, my friends. Sad. But I guess a lot of countries have been through this over the millennia. This is the ancient Texan. May we rise and shine again someday. Namaste.